So I'm just listening to another one by John Lamlash, and I mean, God love him. I'm musing on a couple of pointers that he made there. One point is that I often also think is, is something, because, apparently we are this one thing. So is something having a dream in this projected world through each and every one of us. So is this belief that we're even individuated souls, if that makes any sense, actually a real thing, or is that just make believe, right? Because I had, for instance, I'll give you for instance, the encounters I had with spirit, if you want, talking to me. They were female beings that I encountered, right? Now he sort of says, well, it's Sophia, obviously wisdom, that has, and that's an important thought as well, because we are supposed to embody, earth wisdom, if you like, here. Using our rational faculties as well to decide on whether things are righteous or whether they're stupid, make no sense. Like this AI shit that's complete and utter rubbish. But he seems to say that, this entity is having a dream experience through us. And, just a few days ago, it was quite funny because he says this, and I had a little chat with somebody on Facebook, and I said, it's, I feel almost sometimes as if, with the little sensory organs of this planet, okay? So she gets feedback about her own life forces through the animals and through us, and we have the highest consciousness to reflect back to the planetary intelligence, if you want, right? I've lost my track a bit now. Thoughts come back to me. Now, if you now think about the mushroom mycelia, right, and how it's got these dendrites that it's connected with, yeah, and after a certain amount of time, when the mushroom has come up and ripened, it opens up and releases, the seeds. And I'm kind of thinking panspermia already. So I'm already thinking, wouldn't it be weird, like if we are some sort of an experiment species, and when we're ripe, right, we open up like a mushroom and spawn into the universe. Because I think what's going on here, quite frankly, with this AI is that they are mimicking and copying our innate abilities. Hang on. We have this connection now through the internet and things, but really we should be telepathically communicating. And sometimes I really wonder what is going on there. But I have had several experiences now, and this is happening more and more frequently, when I look at this list of videos coming up at the side, the suggestions that you always get on the right hand side, and I just look at one of them for a little bit longer than maybe just like a split of a second, it turns up in my history feed, even though I didn't watch it. Now that's odd to me, right? I'm a bit skeptical what they're doing there. But I mean, this is where it's definitely going. It's going into this mimicry of our natural abilities, which should be telepathic, and flying into space. Forget about it. We will not. We can't escape this place. Just like these nuclear explosions don't happen. What they do is they throw down dirty bombs and mustard gas. It's a whole another story. I better don't even go there. We've also, in this assault that we're facing, this Ahrimanic attack, we have in our interactions on a personal level, we have taught each other about boundary settings and about narcissism, right? So we learned through our going into our own trauma, if you want, we started teaching one another about narcissistic abuse, blah, blah, right? Now, I listened to an interesting video yesterday of a lady who was talking about what the Irish did when they were under the English, whip. They were not allowed to speak their own language anymore. They were not allowed to have schooling, so reading and writing was forbidden for them. They were not allowed to play their own music and have fun and carry on with that tradition. That happened after the flight of the Earls, right? Because a lot of the musicians and poets and those types of people were connected with the courts, and they would be they would have these beneficiaries who would keep the harp players in bread and butter. So Turlough or Carolan, who I like listening to so much, he would have been in the employment of various people who fed him for making music, and then he wrote songs about them, right, praising them and stuff like that. That was happening in Germany a lot as well. Like Martin Luther was supported. They all had their Mäzene, you call it in German, right? So when they were forbidden to do that, the Irish culture went underground. So they would meet in the groves or in the fields, and they would have little schools, and the scholars amongst the Irish would carry on making sure these people could read and write and could speak their own language, and they carried on with their culture, underground kind of thing, secretly. So that's how they preserved their culture and didn't lose the schooling and things. I hope we don't have to go underground, but like this is also how the Gnostics carried their knowledge throughout the centuries, by cloaking it, cloaking it and coding it in the tarot and all these other various, the Nakamari texts and in fairy tales and God knows what, yeah. But you can see how what we've done there for one another over the last sort of few years is actually in preparation of now facing the big bullies, right? We've faced off our personal bullies and we get training there, right? And we're learning to set boundaries. Well, we have to do the same with our dear servants, okay? Where they're overstepping the boundaries, because we are the keepers of this planet. We belong here. This is our planet just as much as it is theirs. They're highly traumatized. They're suffering from, mind viruses. And we need to learn to stand our ground, set boundaries. And we've been prepared for that. We've done it like the Irish. We went onto the internet, into the little corners. And we taught each other, look, here, narcissists, this is what they look like, this is how, and now you go from the small to the big, you go, oh my God, look at these guys, look, isn't that just like what my dad, that's how it works. Underground culture, hidden away in little pockets, and we just need to, carry on doing what we're doing. I just thought I'd share these thoughts because this is all just sort of coming together for me by looking at various things, and it kind of clicks and it all makes sense, and it should make you feel a little bit better, I hope. Stay with the program, carry on. And it is breaking down for them because it's all becoming so ridiculous, I mean, you realize how toxic these windmill things are. There's whole huge graveyards of these windmills over in Texas now rotting away that they're having to bulldoze shut. The same with the solar panels, absolutely highly toxic. These stupid electric cars that you have to charge with a diesel engine, you know, to get them running again. All of that is becoming so obviously stupid. If it wasn't for the fact that people are so in this fear state, and in this, you know, little frozen rabbit state, they would see that themselves, you know. And then it's the Stockholm syndrome that kicks in, and we just got to help them out of that state, you know. But it's all, it is becoming painfully obvious how desperate the methods are in order to you know, push us down here with all these lies and inventions about, you know, this is your fault and that. They're the biggest problem, not us, because they're wrecking the place for good with all of these measures in order to, you know, decimate us, make us less. It's ridiculous. It's got to stop, people.